So this series of the videos will be about creating a game ready asset from scratch to the textured low poly version for the games using ZBrush and Maya, the whole pipeline. So make sure to watch the whole series to understand the whole pipeline. So in this video, first we are going to do the blockout of this sword concept art that I found on Pinterest. So to start, we will need a cube as a base. Then we'll modify it to block out the basic shape of the sword. So scale it and move it to desired position to get the basic shape of the sword. We are not trying to get any details in this stage right now. We are just trying to get the whole silhouette of the sword so that we have a base ready for our sculpt. So let's move on and keep adding small shapes and modifying it to match the silhouette of the sword. I'm just using a masking and then using the gizmo tool to move around the masked areas. I'm not currently using any brush because we are not going to sculpt it in this stage. So let's add some subdivisions to it so that we have some more polish to move around and cut around. I'm using the lasso tool for masking because it's freehand and get the shapes. You can get the desired masked shape easily from using this tool. So I'm just masking the area that I need to move and leaving the rest as it is, because we just need to get the shape of the sword right now. And if this happens with you, it means you have pressed Shift X by accident. So keep in mind, nothing to get worried about. It's Shift X, the shortcut for the X pose. So what it does is that it separates your subtools and expand it across the viewport. So if you accidentally pressed Shift X instead of Shift Z, you can press Shift X again to get the model back in position. Don't forget to sharpen your mask after you mask the shape, because the lasso tools don't give a very crisp mask at the beginning, so you have to sharpen it using the sharpen mask option in the masking menu. And then we'll move on to add some more cuts in the sword. After cutting, I'm dynamicing it back to get the shape back. And remember to save your camera view so that you don't have to keep adjusting the sword again and again according to the reference images. If you want to know what the camera views, you can leave in a comment. I will make a separate video about it. So right now the sword silhouette is almost done. Then after the sword we will move on to the base area, there's some rocks and rocks on it, so we will block out the rocks. Not something fancy, just basic cubes placed. Currently the whole sword was very thin, so we made it thick according to the concept art. And now let's move on to add the ground. So for the ground I will be using a sphere. You can use cube also. So I will squish it along the y-axis and then remove the bottom part, so we just have a disc kind of shape. So as the ground is blocked out, let's move on to add the rocks. I'm going to fast forward a bit because right now we are just going to move and rotate and place the rocks. So let's get a little forward in time. Again, same thing, if you happen to press shift X by accident, make sure to press shift X again to get back all the shapes. And now we are using a trim dynamic brush to cut out some shapes from the rocks to make the slope, and then we will move on to add more cubes to block out the rocks in the back, in the sides, all those rocks. Then we will move on to get the handle. So the rocks are almost done. Now let's move on to the handle part. So we are again, I'm using a cube for the handle. And if you don't want to spend this much time in blocking out the shape, you can use Maya or Blender or any software, any 3D modeling software, to model the basic shape of the sword and then bring that model into ZBrush and sculpt over it. Since I am doing this series of creating this asset entirely in ZBrush, then doing the low poly model in Maya, and then the maps baking and all those for game ready, so I am following that workflow for this video. You can make it in Maya also if you want, and then bring back to ZBrush. I'm using ZBrush first and then Maya for the redepo. So this series of the videos will be about creating a game ready asset from scratch to the textured low poly version for the games using ZBrush and Maya, the whole pipeline. So Make sure to watch the whole series to understand the whole pipeline. So again I'm using masking and then the gizmo tool to scale and move the shapes around to get the desired shape. Make sure to check all the angles. Sometimes when you check the front it looks okay, but when you go to the side angle it's look pretty jagged or not the shape you want to be. So make sure to check all the angles. So the top handle is almost done. Now we will move on to the uppermost part of the handle, the crown kind of shape. So again I'm using a cube. I will masking out and making it into a hexagon because the top shapes almost look like a hexagon. And for the last part, the part where we hold the sword, I'm going to use a cylinder for that. So again same thing, masking and moving shapes around till we get our desired shield out. So now we have a full block out of the shape ready, and now we can move into refining these shapes and adding more details to it. I will start a little now, but we will continue it in the next video. I will just try to refine the area that we cut out of the swords in this video, and then we will continue the refinement in the next video. So for this I'm just using damn standard brush to carve out the crease, and then using a pinch brush to pinch in the shape, and then trim dynamics brush to flatten out and get that rocky edge kind of texture. In case you are wondering how I am switching between the brushes, so I am using keyboard shortcuts like for clay builder brush you can use BCB, for trim dynamics brush you can use BTD. So make sure you memorize all these wordings to make your workflow fast and more efficient, rather than going into the brush menu then searching for the specific brush and selecting it. You can just use type in BCB and you get your clay builder brush. So in this video, this will be all we will be doing in this video, and more refinement and detailing will be done in the next video. So make sure to stay tuned and watch all those videos.